I was supposed to be filming a video. What an absolute pleasant change of pace, am I right, everybody? The snow, it's just incredible! Can you tell that none of this is scripted? Hey guys, it's been about a year since I've uploaded to this channel, and I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what the heck is going on. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's watched up to this point, and thank you for waiting this long. I don't think you've actually waited this long. I think some of you have started asking the questions. You know what? I'm gonna spill the beans. I'm gonna do it right now. So about a year ago, probably longer than that at this point, I uploaded the Wandering Wolves review. I'd say it was pretty well received, and honestly, I'm still pretty happy with that video. It's a feeling I've not felt in like 3 years or something, I don't know. That's basically my new permanent form of content from here on out, which means videos are going to take a lot longer for me to work on. That's just how it is. There is a dog barking somewhere. I don't really approve. So, you know, in some weird way, I guess all good things to those who wait, although nobody really wants to wait an entire almost over a year for a silly little YouTube creator to release a silly little video, am I right? But actually, I don't mean to be all egotistical or anything, but I think I have a pretty decent excuse for why it's actually taken as long as it has. But before we get into that, I want to get all sappy and kind of just reminisce on my older YouTube days and just kind of talk about, I guess, the evolution of what I've been doing back then versus what I'm doing today. It actually all started all the way back when I was still into modding a little game called New Super Mario Bros. Wii. On this thing, actually, I was literally playing a mod of New Super Mario Bros. DS called Newer Super Mario Bros. DS, and you know what? I think it's a really good game. I don't know how many of you have a copy of New Super Mario Bros. DS or a modded 3DS, but you should consider it. It's pretty fun. Anyway, I started out just kind of uploading whatever it was related to New Super Mario Bros. Wii modding, whether it was levels, I don't know, what texture showcase. I don't have any of those videos archived anymore, by the way. There's maybe like a couple that might be on the More Going Around 23 channel, which is for Twitch stuff as well as miscellaneous content. I don't know if you've seen it. But basically, I have none of that archived anymore, so you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it. That's how it started in my very first upload, which was all the way back on the 23rd of January, which is today, 7 years ago. Yeah, you've read the title of this video, I hope. I created and started making content 7 years ago, and I'm still glad that I made that decision. But, you know, more on that a little bit later. Eventually, I would step into the world of Let's Plays. This would be somewhere around, it was, I think, right before 2017, and I would even discover a little Let's Play series by Markiplier, which was him playing the original FNAF game. I was actually really interested in FNAF at one point, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna play a bunch of FNAF fan games and upload them to YouTube in the form of Let's Play videos. And that's exactly what I did. And then I would do that for like 4 years and then just stop, because I would endure the worst creative burnout I think I've ever experienced. I felt like I was pretty much doing the same thing over and over again. By the way, I am pretty much repeating the information that was laid out in a Twitter thread that I made a while ago, which was basically just describing pretty much all of this and why a certain little video of mine has been taking so long to work on. And it just happens to be, you know, I know not everyone actually follows me on Twitter from here. You should probably consider it. The link is in the description. I may as well just go ahead and put that information right into this video, this 7-year anniversary video. Freaking 7 years. What's happening? There's like 2 people that I know that were like, yo, my YouTube channel's about to turn 7, or it has turned 7. Like, what is happening? Is anything a coincidence? There were certain points in my whole YouTube endeavor where I was just kind of doing a bunch of things. I remember making a tutorial video. I had actually made top 10 videos as well, which I probably have like some proof that they even existed, including this video, which is probably the biggest proof that there was like a digital form of that somewhere. And I know not everyone wants to watch that, so I can still kind of summarize it in this video, considering that it's almost 3 hours in length. I had literally at one point done terrible song covers intentionally, thinking that they were hilarious, thinking that I was literally the funniest person in the world. I was really unfunny back then, but I am slightly funny today. alright? The thing is, I don't want to actually say that I'm, like, actually funny, because, you know, that's like, people with big egos say things like that, am I right? It was, like, 2020 when I would go through creative burnout. Actually, no, it was 2021 or 2022. I don't actually remember. I think it was 2021. I uploaded a series of videos. They uploaded a little bit late, and I realized that despite how many hours I was spending editing those videos, they were still rushed to some degree. So then I was like, alright, I'm not happy with this anymore. I don't really want to keep making content like this. I haven't been happy with an upload I have put out for like forever. So then I decided to just switch up my content style entirely. Now, believe it or not, I actually had started making content like what I make today all the way back in 2016. The problem is that I had deleted all of those videos. There is not a backup in sight. All I have are scripts that I happened to find one day while I was, rummaging around my filing cabinet in my desk, as well as a bunch of screenshots that, at least somewhat prove that they even existed. And this is something I really think you guys should follow. I don't care how embarrassed you might be. I don't care how old it is. I don't care if you don't want people to see it. At the very least, private your old things, alright? Never delete them, because what you're doing is you might leave yourself confused and not really knowing how far you've actually come in whatever endeavor you've participated in, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's being a YouTuber, that kind of thing. Please never delete your old cringy things. In fact, you might actually learn to enjoy such cringy things, I don't know, because you're not like that anymore. Needless to say, I kind of went back on an old content style that I have not returned to in a very long time. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it in this video so that you don't have to go out and like skim through almost 3 hours of footage on the More Going 123 channel, which, if you want to, you can subscribe. That's entirely up to you. But basically, there was a 2019 draft of the Wandering Wolves review. I read through it, I wasn't happy with it, so I rewrote it for the one we all know and love, the one that's there, I don't need it. I'm actually not going to show the video thumbnail in post, because why would I? Basically, that old draft was a pretty different take on that video, and I was just like, I'm gonna rewrite it. I don't want to work with a script that's like about 2 years old. And yeah, that video's out, and like I said, I'm actually still pretty happy with how it turned out. And of course, I wanted to keep making content like that, and that leads to talk about a little video, and I'm gonna be completely honest, so far it is the most ambitious project I've ever worked on. And I did not anticipate that it would be as ambitious as it is. It just is what it is. Like, that's really all I have to say about it. My entire family caught COVID around the release of the Wandering Wolves video, which was around Thanksgiving. My grandparents were hospitalized. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away at that point in time. And as a way to kind of cope and sort of try to move on from what had happened, considering I haven't really gone to know him as much as I wish I could, I was working on the script to this video that I'm working on today. But I would basically run into so many roadblocks that would disallow me from continuing work on the video, with probably the biggest one being my laptop. It was dying. It actually started when there would be issues related to, let's say I'm playing modded Minecraft for a couple of minutes, and then just for some reason, I want to open the start menu, but oh wait, I finally was able to open it. That only took like 3.5 minutes. So that was basically what was going on. It kind of reminded me of like my childhood Windows Vista laptop that I showed off in a recording once. And it was actually starting to die on me. I had only had this thing for like 4 years, but I was literally using it like a PC, and obviously it wasn't meant for that purpose. Also, it started blue screening more often, and then I literally woke up one morning to find that the entire screen was just, it looked like that. I had actually connected a HDMI cable up to the TV in the living room just so that I could start backing files up, just in case I actually was not able to use this thing any longer. I had then bought a monitor which I would hook up. I would eventually use it for the PC I would basically buy, but I would basically get a monitor, connect it to my laptop, just so that I can continue making videos and communicating with my friends and playing games. But then I would wake up one morning, after a night of me trying to boot the PC back up. Sorry, it was a laptop, it's not really the same thing. It kind of is, but not exactly. But there is a difference because I'm using laptop in place of PC, I guess. I couldn't get to Windows. I couldn't get to the sign-in menu. This thing was basically dead. The highlight of the year for me was going to the Micro Center and being able to shop for PC parts, getting all the best deals that were currently live, having this really nice lady, you know, have it be built for us. I would then head to Texas Roadhouse to get a nice filet mignon and a really salty loaded baked potato, but it was still pretty good. A couple days later, I'd be working out, it'd be like 2 minutes left. I would take the fastest shower of my life and we would head back out over there. We'd grab the PC, we hit up the Wendy's for a nice little meal to kind of end the day off, and we set the PC up once and for all. Even though it took like a week for all my Steam games to reinstall, it was all still worth it in the end because I finally had a new PC. Which meant that I was able to actually resume progress on this video after all of that. So that, in my opinion, was a huge chunk of waiting time. A lot of it is just because this video ended up a lot bigger than I had ever anticipated. When I actually wrote the script for the Wandering Wolves video, I was using a program called AbiWord. AbiWord is obsolete, it's old, it's no longer being updated, and it's prone to crashing and corrupting your documents. That happened to me once, and I was like, I'm not risking that for one of the scripts that I would be working on. So I was like, alright, let's switch to a little software called LibreOffice. You could have your documents saved, have the program still open, and you can like shut your PC off, turn on the next day, open up LibreOffice, and then it'll think that your documents have been lost or it might need to be recovered. And that, I think, is actually really cool, that the software actually, in fact, goes to that kind of length to keep your documents safe, because I would not want to throw months of my life away because of a stupid irregularity in a little typing program. So yeah, it's still being updated to this day. It's a really good piece of software, and it has a character counter. So I wanted to see how many characters the Wandering Willows script had, and it had about maybe 30,000, maybe 33,000. You guys know that the Wandering Willows video is like 32 minutes in length, right? About 32 minutes. I actually decided to kind of compare and contrast compared to the video that I am working on right now. I made the rough estimate that the video that I'm working on right now might clock in at under 2.5 hours. So I honestly think that kind of excuses why it's taken so long for me to work on this video, especially because I'm giving it the same treatment that I'll give all of my videos, giving it the time it needs and polish and all that jazz. I actually did another checkup, and it might just be like maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes, but that's not too far off. That's still a really long video, alright? And I'm going to be uploading the whole thing, and I don't want to like set any up. I can only speculate when the video might roll out, because I don't want to set dates. I never will do such a thing. I will basically have the video ready when it's ready, and it will be uploaded at 3 p.m. EST like all the rest of my videos will. But I sort of speculate that it might be ready maybe in the middle of February. I was thinking maybe it could be ready early February. I don't think that's happening anymore. I think I might be biting off a little more than I can chew with this one, but it's not hard or anything. It's just a lot of time that needs to be committed to something like this. But actually, a lot of this video is already done. The script has been done for months now. I had everything filmed. The commentary, I might still need to go back and fix a few things commentary related, but that's pretty much all finished. And in terms of editing, I've actually made it past the 90-minute mark on the video, editing-wise. Of course, I'll have to go back and fix a couple things, maybe add some things, maybe fix some things if I need to, but this is a video that actually doesn't have much time left. It's not a video that actually needs that much more time. Could I hypothetically say the video might be close to like 80% completion? Just as like a rough, again, a rough estimate. Either way, I hope you guys are excited as I am to finally behold such a creation. This is probably one of the biggest videos I've ever that I will ever put out. Of course, you're not required to enjoy it. I think that just, you know, checking it out, giving it a chance is all I could really ask for at this point. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I really would like to thank you all so much to those that continue to stick by. I know that you guys are some of you are probably confused where the new Super Mario Bros. Wii modding content might be, where all the FNAF videos are. And to be honest, I'm not interested in FNAF as much as I once was. But you know what? On the topic of FNAF, I may as well announce a little something that I actually plan on doing very soon, to kind of give back to the community and to kind of give a huge thanks to everyone who's stuck around since all the FNAF videos that I've made, which are like so many at this point. Now this is just kind of in the early planning stages. I haven't streamed much on Twitch lately because I haven't really felt like it, but I would like to basically inform you guys that you should be on the lookout for about 6 FNAF fan games that I will be playing on Twitch individually. I'll be making a bunch of streams on a bunch of FNAF fan games, including the mainline games as well. So I will be announcing the bucket list for that, and, you know, maybe you guys will be excited for that. But again, I'm not sure what date it should be, so just, again, this is in the early planning stages. That's just something that I plan on doing. Feel free to follow me on Twitch. I will link all of that in the description. You know, you guys probably get it by now. But honestly, thank you all so much for sticking by. Thank you so much to those that are still patiently awaiting the release of this kind of video. Now that you know the scale at which this project is, probably makes a little more sense of why it's such a ridiculous wait, right? It's not like I'm just gonna throw out there a high-effort 2.5 hour long video in like a month. I don't think anyone's really capable of doing that. Again, thank you all so much for sticking by, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Yeah, the video's over, by the way. See you!